Those of you who've been around on the channel for a while will know probably my favourite website or go-to website to make money online is Usertesting. It is quite simple to get signed up. There are pretty much always offers on the go on the site to be able to use, and you can generate quite a bit of income from that in a short space of time. Although when you first join Usertesting, you might think that there is going to be constant jobs where they are 30-40 minutes long. That's not really the case. Most of them do only take between 5 to 15 minutes. Sometimes you'll get one a little bit longer. Sometimes you might even get one a little bit shorter. And regardless of how long it takes you to do the job, you will get a $10 payout a week to the day of you starting that job, or finishing that job I should say. So if you're new to Usertesting, this video is going to be perfect for you. It's going to show you exactly how much you can generate from Usertesting if you sat down for a full day as if you were at work for 9 to 5. Now my initial plan for this was to sit down for a full day from 9 to 5 and see how many jobs we got, how many we got accepted for, how much we made in the end and everything like that. But because I was a bit short for time on the day, I ended up just working from 12 to 5 with about a half-hour break in between that as well. So we worked for about 4.5 hours. Doesn't mean we had constant jobs for that 4.5 hours. I just mean I sat at my desk for that 4.5 hour period, and any job that came up on the website, I tried to get qualified for it. So if you're new to Usertesting, then you're just going to come over to the website, and then you can quite simply just sign up. It really doesn't take too much. So let me just get logged in here, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like once you've got your account up and running. Now, before I get into this, if you're new to the channel and you don't know what on earth's going on over here, what we do on this channel is I try out loads of websites like this to see how much money you can get. I try out different strategies of making money, such as dropshipping or Betfair trade and everything like that as a beginner, to see if what everyone else is telling on YouTube is really true, or if they're just making this up to try and get you to use their links or to get views to get paid from YouTube. So I like to try and test out all the different strategies to see if any of them actually are true and if any of them make money, because at the end of the day I think that's what we all want to do on here. So let's get into Usertesting. But if you do like the sound of that, then please do hit the subscribe button and the like button too. It will make the world of difference. So once you're on Usertesting, you'll have this page here. Now as you can see here, there are a variety of different different tests available straight from the off here. You might not have any, just leave it open. You'll hear a ding every time one becomes available. I'd also recommend downloading the app on your phone, and then as soon as some tests become available on that, you'll be able to quickly open up the app and get checking to see if you can qualify. So you can see here, iOS, Android, smartphone. That was one way you can just go on the app, see if you qualify. And when you're on the app, you'll get something pretty much similar to this. You will get a question, a few answers. There might be multiple questions. You can see here there's 3. You're just going to answer the questions honestly. It'll help you a lot in the long run if you do just stick to them. The 9 times out of 10 you can tell what they're wanting from the questions, but it's best not to lie when it comes to stuff like this, because it's better to stick with the target audience. You will get enough jobs as the days go on. So you can see here, please select which of the following actions you've done over the last 6 months. So for me, I have paid a bill online, I have bet sport and casino betting, I have made an international payment, I haven't booked a holiday. So then we press next, and you can see that gets us through to the next step. So clearly we did what they want us to have done in that step there. So which of the following money transfer sites did you use? I think I used PaySend, and then you can see didn't work out. So they weren't from PaySend, they were from a different company, and they wanted us to try out something on their website. Now I would love to show you guys a live test and show you guys how you do the tests, what normally they have in the tasks and everything like that, but I think there is confidentiality issues with Usertesting, and they don't allow you to showcase any of the tests, because the people who are paying to get these tests done like to stay quite confidential. So unfortunately I won't be able to do that, but generally they'll probably ask you your opinion on maybe a logo, maybe 2 designs of a website, or they'll just show you a website, for example, let's say Adidas, and then they'll ask you to go purchase a certain type of shoe, and they'll want you to go through the process of looking at the shoes, deciding which one you want, adding it to your basket, and then they'll ask how easy was the process, is there anything you change, and it is really just that simple. So when I sat down for a full day from 12 to 5, I got 15 jobs. Now I didn't actually manage to do 15 jobs, I had 15 jobs appear to me like on this site here. So Help Before we had about 4, I saw 15. So there's actually been quite a few here throughout this day that have popped up. There is different times in different days where some you'll get loads, some you'll get none. So please keep that in mind. This video is going to explain how much I got in the space of the 4.5 hours I worked the other day, but it is not going to be the same every single day. You can see here I've already had about 7 tests available to me. That's half of what I got throughout the whole day on the Friday when I did this. So it will vary massively day to day. I think Usertesting themselves suggest that you do it during the day, Monday to Friday, because people aren't really uploading tests on the weekends. You can of course have it open if you're free, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to be getting the jobs Monday to Friday. But I managed to see 15 jobs appear to myself over the course of that 4.5 hours. I got accepted for 4 of them jobs. That's obviously not great, so there was 11 which I didn't get accepted for. There was 2, however, where I was 2 extra that I could have done. 1, I got accepted through all the questions and I just didn't press confirm at the end quick enough to be able to get accepted. That was my own fault. There was quite a few questions, I took my time answering them, so that could have added to it. So we could say I actually should have done 5. There was also another one that I qualified for where it was on the PC that they also required a face capture. So for some of the tests, unfortunately I don't think there'll be any up here, but you can see it says iPhone. Then in this term here, I think there was one a few minutes back, it will say face recording. Now if it's one for your phone that says face recording, it's not too much of a problem because it just records from the front facing camera. If it's one for your computer, however, I use my phone as a webcam and I use my old phone as a webcam. My old phone was dead, it wasn't charged up, so I wasn't able to use a webcam. So although I'd qualified and was perfectly ready to do the task, I didn't have a webcam available to do it, so I had to miss out on that one as well. So if it was another day, you could say I would have done 6 jobs, and that probably would be a better reflection. So 6 out of the 15 I was qualified for, that's probably about the ratio you're looking for. And from all the times I've worked on Usertesting, I'd probably agree with that a little bit more. So you are going to get accepted for more than you're not in most cases, but just stick with it and you'll be able to get quite a lot of jobs. But we'll just go with what I managed to do. So I did 4 jobs. That took a total of 30 minutes to do them 4 jobs. It wasn't too much work at all. I did sit here for the full 4.5 hours accepting any job I could, and it only took me 30 minutes to do them 4 jobs. In terms of payments, I got $40. Obviously, you get $10 for each, which equates to roughly £29.20 at the current time. So that actually equates to, if it was just fully working hours, obviously it equates to double that because we only worked for half an hour. So it would equate to $80 an hour or about £60 an hour, which is quite mad. But if we look at it a bit more in real time, which is obviously what you guys want to know about more, we worked the 4.5 hours, which means it was about $8.89 an hour, or in pounds, £6.50 an hour, which isn't too bad. It's obviously not ideal, it's not a wage you'd want to be working at full time, but it's also not the end of the world. If I was to have done them extra 2 jobs, which would take it up to 6 jobs for the day, I can probably guess that at most we probably would have spent another 15 minutes on each. So that probably would have took us up to an hour, which would mean we would be working at a wage of $60 an hour, because that's how much we would have worked and got. But in actual real time, with the 4.5 hours worth of work, because obviously that wouldn't have gone up because we were still just sat at the computer for the 4.5 hours, it would have been $13.33 an hour, or £9.73. So that looks a little bit better there, and that's probably the reflection I'd rather say. I think all the times I've worked on Usertesting, I can probably safely say to you guys that if you were to sit there for the full day, that will be a better reflection. It might not be across one day. So for example, if you go on to Usertesting tomorrow, start working on it, and you get no tests, don't be disheartened. Be patient with it. Keep with it, and over the course of the month, I think these figures will come true. I think you'll just have some slow days and you'll have some really busy days. So just be prepared for either of them. When you sit down at your computer and have Usertesting open, by the way, you don't need it to be fully open. You can just have it either on a tab like this. You can literally have the whole browser minimized. It's completely up to you. You will just hear a ding every time there is a test available, so you'll know when to check back. So what I'd recommend you do is just do some work on your computer. For example, if you're like me, if you're a university student, just sit down and do your uni work, and if you hear a ding, have a break from your uni work and go make a quick $10. So the real question is, if you were to sit down for a full day of 8 hours worth of work, like I titled this video, a full time on Usertesting, on an average day, you would probably make, based on the stats I've got in front of me from that day I did the other day, you would make about £77.87 for the day, which isn't too bad at all. If you were to only work 1 day a week for that full 8 hours, you would make around about £311 a month, which is quite mad. You would only need to get 1 day's worth of work, 1 day's worth of 8 hours on Usertesting, and you will probably be taking around £300 plus a month, which is, I think that's really good, to be honest, from Usertesting. If you were to up it to 2 days a week, you'd be looking at around about £620 a month-ish. Upped it to 3 days a week, you're looking at £1,200 a month. 5 days a week, so basically working full-time on Usertesting. If every day was consistent like this one, you're going to be looking at £1,500. Now, I don't think that one will probably be true, because like I said, there will be slow days, there will be busy days. So I think you're probably looking at a more of an accurate reflection, probably sat around that £1,000 mark. Luckily though, I think the one big bonus of doing this with Usertesting is, although you'd be sat at your desk for 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday, and probably only getting about 3 days worth of work from it, I actually think that is quite good, because you're getting about 3 days worth of work, you're getting around £1,200, at least over £1,000 if you were to be sat there for the whole month and were to keep your 5-star rating. You still have loads of free time whilst you're sat at your desk. It's not constant work, you could be doing anything. If that's enough money for you to be able to live off, you could just sit and play some games. If it's not, you could be doing some other things. You could be doing your match betting while you're waiting, you could do some Betfair trading, you could just watch TV with your laptop next to you. There is a huge range of different things you can do, and if you fully focus on Usertesting 5 days a week, I actually strongly believe you could be hitting that £1,000 a mark, £1,000 a month mark fairly comfortably. If you actually want to see me try and do that, see me sit down for a full month and see genuinely how much that generates, then do let me know down in the comments, and I will try and figure out a month when I can do that and pencil that in, because I would be interested in seeing how close to that figure we actually get. But based on the stats we have available to me from the other day, I really think that that figure is possible. If we narrow it back down to just the 4 tasks that we did in the 30 minutes, just to try and rejig the figures a little bit to see what that would look like, then if we were to work the 3 days a week, the 8 hours a day, that would be bringing in around £830 a month. So I think realistically, the figure I'm going to put on this video as working monthly on Usertesting, 32 hours a week, I think you will be generating between £750 and £1,250 a month from Usertesting. For 32 hours worth of work, or essentially a lot less than that, you'll probably be looking at around 10 to 15 hours worth of work the week. I think that is actually quite good, because you'll be doing that alongside other activities, other ways of making money, and you'll be able to generate a really nice income. For those of you who have been around at the channel for a while, or even those of you who are new, the whole purpose of this channel is me trying to find a substitute to my student income, so that when I graduate university next year, I can just transition into working full-time from home. And I really think Usertesting is going to play a huge role in my first few years after uni, getting myself up to that full-time income. So let me know if you use Usertesting down below. Let me know if you use it a bit more consistently than I do, and how many jobs you get on average a day. and we'll see if any of our figures match up or if they don't. But let me know in the comments if you're going to get started on user testing. Let me know if you've got any other sites you want me to check out and see how much you can make. I'm always happy to take on recommendations. I note down every single one and get it added to my list. So give me a shout if there's anything you want me to try out. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.